Good evening, everybody. My name is Matthew Aguera, and today we're going to be covering compulsive gambling. Now, by a show of hands, everybody in this room, if I were to give you a $100 bill and told you that you had 24 hours to turn this $100 bill into $10,000, how many of you believe that you would be able to accomplish this task? Not many takers, huh? So if this is common knowledge that it's not the easiest task in the world to take $100 and multiply that by 100 in one singular night, why is it that so many people go into the casinos day in and day out, putting their last $100 on the blackjack table, hoping to turn that into a fortune? With sports gambling on the rise, compulsive gambling is at an all-time high amongst the entire United States, and that's what we'll be talking about today. Today we're going to cover the signs of compulsive gambling, why it's dangerous as to why we should care, as well as who are some of the most at-risk groups. So for starters, how can we know if someone is falling under the symptoms of a compulsive gambler? So the first and most key sign is that you're not gambling for entertainment. You're not going out to have some fun with some buddies. You're going out trying to turn a profit. And when you start losing money, and you're down $100 in a single night, versus going home and enjoying that night with your friends, you feel the desire to win that money back and chase your losses. Another key sign is if you feel the need to bet a substantial amount of money to get that same thrill as if you were betting any other amount. If you can't go into the casino and play blackjack hands for 5 cents, that's a pretty big sign that you may have a problem on your hands. So now that we know some of the key signs of what falls into a compulsive gambler, why should we even care? Isn't it just gambling? Well, no, actually. The Recovery Village found that 10 million Americans actually suffer from compulsive gambling. Now, the reason why this is an issue is because 80 to 90% of gamblers in Gamblers Anonymous have actually reported to dealing in some sort of crime to garner money for gambling. So not only would they go out and gamble their hard-earned money, once they lose that, they'd resort to crime to garner more money to continue to gamble with. This is how you know that this addiction is a real problem. So now that we know some of the symptoms, as well as why we should even care, who are some of the most at-risk groups? So it has actually been found in a study that 1 in every 20 college students falls under compulsive gambling. Now, this is why we should care in the first place, as it's affecting you and me the most. Us college students are the most susceptible to compulsive gambling, as it's something you build up in your teen to early 20s. A study by Yale Medicine Report actually found out that you are 17 times more likely to fall under compulsive gambling if you have any sort of psychiatric issues inside of your family. So if bipolar or depression or any other sort of psychiatric issues is common within your family, you actually had a much more likely chance to be victim of compulsive gambling. Now, what's another way you can find out if you're somewhat at risk? Well, it seems to be that there's a 50-50 split between what it breaks down to as far as a compulsive gambler. 50% comes from genetics. So if you have people in your family, whether that be your parents, aunt, uncles, or brothers and sisters, who are addicted to gambling, it's a lot more likely that you can fall under that as well. Another 50% is your environment. You may have nobody in your family that falls under this trap, but just how you're raised and what you see growing up, you can fall down this path as well. So now that we know some of the most at-risk groups, the common symptoms to find out if this can be a problem for you, as well as why we should care, let's talk about some actionable items so we can turn this problem into a solution. So not only is there focus groups all over the world with people just like you who may be going under these sort of problems to talk about their issues and help beat their problems, there's also plenty of professionals that are giving out medications to help you battle this fight, to fight this battle. Thank you and have a wonderful day.